It's Friday. We're gonna talk about what's sold. Yeah, it's Friday. I hope you sold something too. Yes, I really, really do. It's Friday. Hey, how are ya?
We're good.
Oh, heroes in the room.
We're good.
Hero alert. All right, it is Friday. So we are going to talk about things that sold from my eBay store this week, and things are really picking up. I do think that the summer slump is done. I'm going to knock on some wood, touch some wood, maybe kiss some wood to make sure I don't jinx that. But things are going well, and I had some really fun sales this week. So let's talk about it. But first, I do want to update you on the Cutco knife saga. You may have seen me in the sourcing video where I picked up a Cutco knife. I kind of bundled it in a deal. It had $1 on it, so I picked it up, but it was damaged. And so I decided I'm going to use that knife as a test to see about the Cutco, what do they call it? Cutco lifetime warranty policy. So what they do is if you send it in, they will either fix it or replace it with a new knife at no charge. You pay the shipping to get it there. So I did pay $6 to get it there. For some reason, it cost $11 for it to come back to us. So I am into this knife now for, I guess, $18 if we include that $1 that I spent at the beginning. But they sent me a whole new knife. Look, brand new, sealed. They explained in the letter that the knife that I sent in was too old. They no longer supported the parts that were needed for the knife. It needed a good sharpening, and it had like a notch out of the knife. So I am pleased as punch to get a whole new knife back from them. I've not opened it because we learned immediately that this new knife, it's the 1722, they call it their butcher knife. It's a long one. It's a good knife. I mean, so we discussed, do we need to keep this knife for us? And we don't. We have Cutco knives already. So I'm going to sell it, and it looks like the comps are pretty good. This knife recently sold for $95, so I am going to see what I can do. I mean, being in $18.95 would still give me a great return on that, so keep that in mind. If you see knives from Cutco that are in rough shape, you can send it in, but you do have to pay that shipping, so that'll count as your cost of goods towards that knife if you are going to resell it. When we bought ours, the lady told us about the guarantee, and she said, heck yeah, you can find a Cutco knife in the gutter, send it in, and they will either fix it or replace it. So it's a great policy, really. It's kind of like how Craftsman used to do that, but they are no longer doing that. So let's move on. We'll go ahead with the sales for this week. As you know, or if you're new, here's what we're going to do. I am going to tell you what the item is, how much I paid for it, what it sold for, and then how much the net profit is after we back out those fees from eBay and the Poshmark. Sold something good on Poshmark this week. One thing, but it was a good thing. All right, the first item here, this is another pair of brass bail pulls. That's the style. Great keyword to use on there. It is a bail pull. I bought a million brass pulls a long time ago, and this is part of that deal. So they're 50 cents for the pair. I sold them for 15, and that gave me $11.91, and they took 8 months to sell. And still got more pulls. That's just going to be the gift that keeps on giving there. Okay, now this guy here, this is one of those vintage printer's tray, printer's drawer, sometimes they're called as well. But it was a nice small one, and I had never sold one before. So I picked this one up thinking that's a great shippable size, and it was 50 cents. So why not? I'm so happy that it did sell for $40, and that gave me $33.26 in profit, and it took 3 weeks for that one to sell. And that was real easy to ship to. Just wrap it in some cardboard, get it going. Okay, now this is a vintage brown swirl acrylic mid-century vanity. How many words can I say this with? It's a vanity organizer tray. You can see there's a little spot for lipsticks in there. There's a little drawer. It's real cute. Got it for just $1.08. Sold for $20, and that gave me well, I don't have that in my notes, so we're gonna talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna look that up. Let's see what it was. Here it is. Profit was $15.02 on that one. Not too bad. Alrighty, yarn. The yarn is still yarning out the door here. These two hanks were from Elevate Fibers, which is actually a local Colorado. They hand dye all their yarns, and this was a merino blend. And these I got for $1.34. They sold for $30, and that gave me a profit of $23.86, and they just took 2 weeks to go. Okay, Jonathan's shipping something. Do it. We all know that sound. That is the tape gun. And I'm excited. He's using this fun shipping. It's not a box. It's like a little tube, but I collect boxes from neighbors, and she gave me these really cool little tubes, and I've been hoping to use it sometime. So what is in there?
This is a lens.
It's a camera lens, which we're going to talk about towards the end of the video. But I want you to show them your packing job on this. This is the coolest. If you don't know me, here's a tidbit about me. I love really good packaging, and I get excited when I buy something and it comes in fun packaging. I think that's just great, and I love reusing it, of course, because we all want to recycle. But look at that. That is perfect for a camera lens, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I also like using these for Christmas ornaments. If you have a blown glass Christmas ornament, wrap it up, stick it in there. It's good. That is good to go. Good job.
Done.
Good job. He's the shipping department today. All right, where was I? I don't know. A scarf. I got this scarf. It's from the El Paso Saddle Blanket Company. Oh, it was beautiful. Actually got it for free from my mom. She's doing a clean out, so thanks, Mom. Shout out to Mom. I did sell it for $20, and that gave me a profit of $16.50, and that one took 4 months to sell. Next up, let's see. Oh, these were nice. They did take almost exactly a year to sell, but I stuck to my guns on my price, and I got it. These are Kate Spade cloth napkins. I want to say there was 10 of them, so it was a nice amount. I got them for $3, and they sold for $80, my full asking price, and that gave me $65.69, and they took 1 year to sell. Kate Spade doesn't move real fast for me. Let me know in the comments if it does for you, or if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know, but I currently have a purse. It's real cute too, and I don't know why that hasn't sold yet, but let me know any Kate Spade tips if you have them. All right, this guy here, this is a rouge silver bell. It's an ornament, but you could also wind it up. I mean, of course, being Rouge, that's a music box company from Switzerland. And you wind it up and it played a little tune. And I got this from the free box at an estate sale. Do not overlook the free box. I've gotten great things from there. I mean, this one was a little bit lower of a return at $15. And that gave me $12.15. And it took 7 months to sell, but still. Look in the free box. Don't ignore it thinking it's just trash, because sometimes there's really good stuff. One time I got a Royal Copenhagen plate from the free box, and it sold for $110. So keep that in mind the next time you see the free box. More button covers. I was going to say buttonholes. These are not buttonholes. These are button covers. There were 17 of these, and they were all in a southwestern motif. I got these for just $2, and they sold for $25. That gave me $18.85, and they just took 3 weeks to sell. And I'm so glad that I experimented with button covers, because they're all gone, and that was a good deal. Okay, have you ever seen these before? These are Sid Dickens plaques. It's a little decorative item. The only reason why I knew what they were, my sister-in-law, she has a flower and gift shop, and she sells these, and they're so expensive. So when I, at a glimpse at the local thrift store, I saw these with the frames. I said, what is that? And I went over in a shock to see they were Sid Dickens. So I picked up 2 of the plaques for just $11, and they sold for $149, took an offer on them, and that gave me $116.81. And those, they did take a minute. They took eight months to sell, but each one is so specific. So it does have to do with the person's decorating style and what they're into. But these are very collectible. So if you see the name Sid Dickens, people love these. Check them out. More yarn. These are, the brand on this one was Knitology, and it was a worsted wool. Beautiful colors on that one. All the ones that I got, they're all hand dyed and just really lovely yarns. I'm into these 2 hanks for $1.34. They sold for $20, and that gave me $15.16, and those took 2 weeks to sell. Gosh, some of the yarn has sold for crazy amounts, and I've got some for, just good old money coming in, but fancy yarns. I'm learning about it. That's a good thing. All right, the next one is a hero find, and he's left the room. I was hoping he'd be here when we got to it, but this was a really cool vintage. The brand is called Park Avenue, and this is a talking fly swatter. What? You never heard of that before? Neither had we. It made us laugh when we saw it, but it was brand new. We got it for 96 cents and it sold for 25, and that gave me $19.48, and it took 5 months to sell. We didn't try it because it was new and sealed in that bag you can see in the picture, but apparently like you'd hit you hit the fly and it would say, I don't know, it said all kinds of things. I can't even think of what they were now, but they were, it talked. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this one here, this was a brand new, the brand is Watts. It's a pressure regulator valve. I love finding stuff like this in garages. Do not overlook the garage at the estate sale. It was in its own original packaging. It had the information, brand new. This one I picked up for $1.34, and that sold, let me see, for $50, and that gave me $40.86, and it just took 2 months for that to go. So when you see those small boxes, go ahead and open it. A lot of times people buy things and they end up not using it, and it's very sellable, especially being new like that. Hero is back in the room. You missed the fly swatter.
Oh,
I know. What did the fly swatter say when it hit stuff?
something like wham.
Yeah, kablow.
Splat.
Anyway, I'm sure the person who bought it, they're going to enjoy that, and that makes me happy.
Also, you want to check when you find things in a box, make sure that is actually what is in the box.
Right. Open the box, take it out, because sometimes people, we actually at a sale today, it said that it was Bosch tool on the outside of the box, and I opened it up like, that's not a Bosch tool in there. So definitely open things up, check them out thoroughly if you are going to invest in them to sell. All right, next up, this is a beautiful Nambi. I think I'm saying that right. They make beautiful things. This was their Cortina hinged candelabra. We had it in a video before, but it moved kind of like a bicycle chain. I really liked it. It was very cool. I got it for just $3, and that sold for $65, giving me $51.99, and it just took 2 weeks for that one to go. Okay, you might remember these too. These were, excuse me, hold on just a second. All right, these are note cards, and they are by a company called Crane. And what they are is it's recycled US dollars, crushed them all up, and recycled them into paper. So they're called old money note cards. They no longer make these anymore. Gosh, it was a full box. It had just been opened, so I sold it as full box and disclosed that the box had been opened before, but they were all there. I got them for $2.47. They sold for $24.98, and that gave me $18.36, and it took 3 weeks for those to sell. Okay, a clothing item. Huh. I don't have a ton of clothes in this one. So anyway, sorry. This is a Duluth Trading Company. It was a tunic vest, kind of a zip-up hiking, camping, outdoors vest. Got it for $2. It sold for $18, and that gave me $12.76, and that took 2 months to sell. Well, I like this one. This is a good, this is one where I trusted my gut, and I said, this is going to be good. So it was a brand new and still sealed Scrabble game. It was their 50th anniversary edition, and I got it for just $5 at a yard sale. That sold for $70, giving me $53.55, and it took 3 weeks for that to sell. And gosh, I noticed after I sold it that they're selling for even higher than that. So if you see this game sealed, buy it and get it listed. People want it. Alrighty, now here is a great, this is a vintage Louis Marks Johnny West Bison. This is the Bison from the Johnny West series in the Marks toys. You know I love Marks toys. I will always check them out. This guy here, I paid $10 for him. He was in really nice shape. Sold for $60, and that gave me $40.64, and he only took 2 weeks to go. Listed him at the same time as a horse. The horse is still available, and the horse had some accessories with him too. So hopefully good old Thunderbolt will sell soon too. All right, these are beautiful. This was a vintage Artcraft was the brand. They're eyeglasses. You can see that. But they are the neatest swirled gray to white acrylic or plastic. Gosh, and the temples were really wide on the side, and it came with a tooled leather case. Loved these. I picked them up for, let's see, how much? I lost it. I'm going to find it. What the heck? here they are, $5. They sold for $70, and that gave me $54.99. And they just took 2 weeks. No, you know what? These didn't. I had made a draft 2 weeks previous, and I published the draft, and they sold within the hour for that $70. So I'm going to just stick with the belief that I priced it just right and listed it at the right time, and not make myself think about maybe I should have charged more. But that is a great return for me. My profit was $54.99 on those. All right, badge a minute. This is a vintage badge maker. Had all the supplies you need. You can make a bunch of badges right away as soon as you get my box. This one, I paid $5 for it. And these used to sell for a lot of money. And I remember I lowered the price a few times, and finally I just accepted an offer for $26, and that gave me $15.80, and that took a year and 8 months. So yeah, I did have that for a long time. I thought it would fly out, but I'm glad it went eventually. Yes. And then next up, this I actually got at the exact same sale as I got the badge maker. So interesting that they actually sold on the same day or maybe one day apart. But this was a beautiful needlework piece that I bought for, I mean, even the frame was just gorgeous. If you check out the picture there. I got it for just $3, and it sold for $64, accepted an offer on it. And that, let's see, gave me $50.86. And that actually was hanging in my office, and I just never thought about listing it. And I listed it, and sure enough, after 1 month of being listed, that one sold. And for a great price, too. People love the well-done old needlework. Alrighty, now these mugs, they're kind of special. They're by a company called Shackman, and you can kind of, hopefully you can see in the picture here, inside the mugs are little animals. There were 2 with ducks, 1 with a cute little frog, and then 1 with a bear in it. And these I got for $5. They sold for $80, giving me $63.03, and they just took 3 months to go. Oh, this one's a hero find. Do you want to come over and tell them about this find?
No, my hair's not done.
He's busy. He was wearing a hat all day. He does not want to be on camera. He's not camera ready, folks. Okay, so this is a Tiavana red, heavy, it was like cast iron. Was it, do you think it was cast iron, the teapot? Or was it like, it was heavy metal teapot, and it had a little basket in it, and it was neat looking.
It was like heavy metal.
Maybe you should explain it, because I can't explain a simple teapot all of a sudden. Anyway, I paid $3 for it. It sold for $30, and that gave us $21.27, and it took 1 month to sell. All right, flatware for the week here. This is the Reed and Barton Regent was the pattern, and these folks had stored them in their little plastic each place setting every time they used them, which was very nice. So I had 15 pieces total. I paid $10 for them, and they sold for $83, which gave me $60.64, and that took 9 months to sell. All right, now this was a tiny, it's about this big, little tin, very old. What it says on the top here is Emilio Campbell's iodoform gall gear from the James Campbell Company in Chicago. All right, I got it all, I spit it all out. And what I learned is this was actually kind of a salve for horses. So interesting. But I had purchased a bunch of tins together, and this one I listed on its own. The others had stuff in common, and this one just didn't fit in the category. So sold this one on its own. Got it, well, let's see. Blah. I got it for, how much? $1. Sold for $14, and that gave me $10.27, and that sold in 1 single day. So maybe tins is something that I should look at more often. It's nice to make a quick sale like that. All right, and now here's a purse. This is a Fossil. It's called the Sydney Leather Satchel. It's in very nice shape. I got it for just $3, and that sold for $26, giving me $18.32, and that took 1 month to go. All right, I don't know if you can hear Jonathan. He's like I said before, we recycle boxes, so they have the labels on them from before, and sometimes peeling it off, I mean, you just get the tiniest little ribbon of a sliver.
I feel like I'm opening a bag of chips in the theater.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pipe down. Pipe down. All right, now some cameras have gone out. This one was really cool. It was a vintage Yashica LM. I had the manual, the camera, and then a flash that attached that had a cool little fan out thing. Now that one I got for just $4. It sold for $115, giving me $94.75, and that one took 7 months. Okay, and then on the same vein with cameras, recently I bought it wasn't on film, was it? Because it was a private sale and I couldn't film in there, just respect for the family and all of that. So I'm so sorry about the background noise. This is real life, folks. So I got this box and it was just kind of a mystery box full of camera stuff. And so this one and the next sale too, they both sold actually today. This is what Jonathan's boxing up right now. This is the lens that he put in that cool tube. It's a Canon EF-S 18-55 millimeter. A nice lens. I ended up paying just $2 for each piece that was in that box, and it sold for $55. So that gave me a profit of $44.55, and it took 2 days for that to sell, which is great. And then the next one, which I think he's boxing up now, this was 2 camera bodies because it did not have the lens. So listed as a camera body only, but I lotted these 2 together, kind of to make my life easier, and they sold right away as well. What they are, this is a Canon EOS A2E and then a Canon, what was that one? EOS 3 camera body with strap. I got these. Let's see the price on these. Oh la la, $7. This group of 2 camera bodies sold for $150, and that gave me $121.94, and it sold in 1 day. So that box is paying off well for me, and hopefully that trend will keep going. So, all right, here's my Poshmark sale. Yay! This is a beautiful St. John 2-piece. It's cream, a whole jacket and skirt set. Paid $11 for it. It sold for $155, giving me $113, and that just took 2 months to go. So not much clothes. I'm kind of, things are switching. Remember when the slow period, it seemed like it was more clothing. And now that the slump is over, hopefully, touching the wood again here, it's now more cool stuff, less clothes for me. So let me know how that is going for you. I do like to track these trends to see if I should be changing what I'm sourcing. Gosh, the other day I got a whole bin full of cashmere sweaters just in time for fall. So that's exciting. I am ready to get those photographed. It's just when you photograph clothing, you got to measure and it's just a little bit more work than when you have a vase and you just take the picture, rotate, take the picture. So enough of my complaining about that. Let me know what your favorite thing was that sold for me this week. And hey, maybe tell me what the best thing is that you sold this week. I would love to know what's going on out there in the world because we all need to learn from each other. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on Monday. We are going to have a short sourcing video. We went out and got some good stuff, some really cool, old stuff. I'm not going to give it away. So tune in on Monday for that, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.